And when I joined, they used to say that the pillar, one of the pillars of our department, Dr. Khan, he'll be speaking about his journey as a physician, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, and he does, actually Dr. Hassan Khan doesn't need any introduction per se. He is very well known figure in Jahra in Kuwait, right? And I invite Dr. Ayad to speak a few words.
السلام عليكم.
السلام.
دكتور حسن يعني أنا أعرفه من أنا جيت الجهراء تقريبا سنة 93 يمكن من أوائل الأشخاص اللي أعرفهم الدكتور حسن والتحق مستشفى الجهراء سنة 82
شهر سبتمبر
3
قبل لا ينولد نصري بالقاعة.
تاريخ شهر 3 وللأسف إنه طلع قبل يعني. فالحين بقوا من أعمدة الجهراء القديمين يعني أنا والدكتور رضا والدكتور يوسف. فإحنا باقيين 3 وتناقص كل سنة الظاهر.
الله المستعان.
فخلال السنين راح تفقدون إن شاء الله.
الله المستعان. الله يطول بعمركم يا رب.
ما في إنسان مخلد. طبعا صعب يتكلم عن الدكتور حسن يعني الدكتور حسن يمكن أهل الجهراء يعرفونه قبل ما أعرفه. المرضى يعرفون الدكتور حسن قبل ما أعرفه. الدكتور حسن يعني مشهور بإخلاصه وعمله وتفانيه بالعمل وهارد ووركر يعني دائما والإكو اللي يجي من الدكتور حسن ما يخرش المية يعني. ما أدري الكارديولوجي موجودين ولا لا لكن الإيكو يعني بالذات لما سويه الدكتور حسن أظن طلعنا كذا شغلة في الهارت مثل اليوما والاس دي وهذه يعني بالصعوبة إن واحد يلقاهم لكن الدكتور حسن كان هو اللي قادر على أن يعطينا الدايجنوز الصحيح يعني. طبعا ما أقدر أوفي حقه يمكن لو أقعد أتكلم إلى ما شاء الله لكن الدكتور حسن يعني فعلا احنا فقدنا يعني فقدنا الدكتور حسن يعني كان نعمة الدكتور ونعمة الطبيب الإنسان ونعمة الخلق يعني اسمه حسن وكل ما ينطبق عليه حسن. جزاكم الله خير. دكتور حسن ندعوك انك تتكلم.
Thank you, Dr. Ayad, and Assalamu alaikum. Good morning to everybody. Yes, I can see Dr. Yusuf there, and somebody said from cardio, Ahmed. Yeah, it's difficult nowadays to recognize people with masks first of all, and then on top of that, there's a large number here who hardly have seen me. So thank you very much for coming, and Dr. Ayad, Dr. Abdulrahman, and Abdulrazaq. Aziz, you were not ahead when I was around, or you are not yet ahead, I think.
No.
Well, I don't know.
Not yet.
Aziz is always ahead, yeah. So, thank you very much for giving me this chance. And the reason I am around here, I left in 2017, and I am still around in Kuwait. I haven't left, and there used to be a corner seat in a hall in Old Jahra Hospital, where I would quietly go and sit. And every morning meeting, Dr. Jihan, how are you? Fine, alhamdulillah. Nice to see the older faces. And so what I did in my life, I have tried to put it in a book, and that book is this. And I would request Dr. Ayad to come and open this book for me, because he is the one who has even been mentioned in this book. If you could open it, and yeah, this is from here. Yeah, yes. Thank you, Dr. Ayad. And I will hand this over to you. And I will give it back to you once I write something inside. So just leave it for me, I'll do that and I'll keep it. I request Dr. Abdulrahman, the current chairman, to come and kindly release 4 other copies which I have, which he being the head, I will leave him to decide whom he wishes to give, because I am so sorry I can't give to everyone. Don't worry, yes. And then continuing on to just tell you something about my book, my life. Frankly, when I came to Jara Hospital, I was nearly a young boy, and you can see me what has happened to me. But I am extremely grateful. Mahmood, how are you? Alhamdulillah. So at least some faces are around. How are you? So I then have decided, when my grandson went into the medical college in 2019, that's where I decided that it's time for me to have a circle and start writing a book. So I thought, what should I write? So I thought the best thing is to write about my own self. So I started writing in 2019 and I completed the book somewhere in 2021 and in came the pandemic, and the pandemic frankly helped me in completing my book, because I had a lot more time to stay at home and stay safe. So that's how I completed my book. It contains basically 3 parts, and I have a limited time to complete 308 pages in 15 to 20 minutes. So I will do my best just to give you an idea of what happened through the journey of my life. And I named the book as Resilience, Survival and Perseverance. Now, the book is looking something like this. It is available on the online portals. I'm glad a lot of people have bought and read them. And this is one place where I thought my book should be known, because practically a lot is written in my book about Jara Hospital. Now, why I named this book in this way is, one is resilience. Resilience itself, all of us know how when we want to enter into a medical college, it's not an easy job. And even in my own life, I had to struggle to go from my own state in India to another state to get admission into a medical college. But once that happened, welcome Luqman. So once that happened, then started my journey, and then I have reached up till here. And the second portion of my book, that is what is resilience. You have to show a resilience, and I am not telling for those who are here in this hall, but probably you have to inculcate, encourage your own children how to be resilient through difficult times, and how to go through a struggle where you need to achieve something. And the second part is the survival. Why the survival? In 1990 came I have written in my book what is called as the Happy Valley. I called Kuwait the Happy Valley. I still call it the Happy Valley. And the Happy Valley was invaded in 1990, and there was a lot of destruction, so many things happened which most of you do not know, but many of us have really faced. And that survival, I will take you to straight, because to save time, because this was a PowerPoint I prepared for another of my book release. So this is where I want to tell you what happened during the invasion. And today, when you look back at this invasion of Kuwait in 1990, it was then a nightmare, and now it looks like an adventure. This was my route map from Kuwait to India. And how did I go from Kuwait to India? Driving my own car. We drove the car, and the journey of my car journey was like this. It started from Kuwait, number 1, as you see. Then I reached number 2, Basra. And you know, those days we were not allowed to go directly into Iran from Iraq. So we were told to continue our journey. So we went north of Iraq into Mosul. Then we went to a place where I need to mention is called Mount Ararat in Turkey. And Mount Ararat is a place where it is believed that the Noah's Ark had landed after the storm had come. So that's where we went. And then after that, it was entry into Iran. From Iran, we traveled all the way and all across diagonally into Pakistan. And from Pakistan, I went to India. And from India, from Delhi to India, this is the only place where I took a flight finally, left my car in Delhi, and then the car later on. It was enough of driving, and so it went through. Then this is what is described in my book as the second part, which is the survival. Truly, it was a survival. One can understand that I have written in my book how during the invasion, it was some funny incidents had also happened. One of the doctors who was there, he started from his home and then he was told to get down and he had to walk to the hospital where his car was taken away. We also had incidents like people, they came to check in and one of the shoulder-held missiles had got released. So there were many things which I have tried to portray. Then comes the third part of the book, which is the perseverance. So we came back. Then when we came back to Kuwait, I was a transient settler, and during my transient period, I had a lot of issues. What should I do? I was well settled in Kuwait. What do I do about it? Do I start looking for jobs immediately or wait and watch? Do I seek a job again outside India or get settled down back in Hyderabad? I had an old father there who was in a way happy that the son is back. But then the love of Kuwait, the money from Kuwait, so many things. So I just had to ask, and he was a military man, so he was very practical, and I asked my father simply, Baba, I had a call from Kuwait. He just asked me only one thing, do you necessarily have to go? And my answer was yes. And he said, okay, go. So back again in 1991, and you are still seeing me around here today, and it is what happened. So my chapters have included a lot, including the march of the pandemic I have called. Came the pandemic, it started in Kuwait in March of 2020, and I have written one of the chapters is the march of the pandemic, and that's where it happened. In addition to that, there are periods where I have written about phase 1 post-invasion 1991 to 2000. There's another chapter on internet era begins. That's where started the era of the Facebooks and the other things. So I didn't leave myself without doing anything. When the internet came in, we started a Facebook page, and there was a doctor even here, a group here. We started what is called as the ACE group, which was anesthesia, critical care, and cardiac, no, ACE, anesthesia, critical care, and emergency medicine. So where I started teaching ECGs by putting in weekly ECGs on the Facebook and giving the lessons to people, and as well as then some echocardiography trainings were given on the Facebook. That's where the era happened. I also have gone through a period where in my childhood I had a wooden radio where I had to tune in and try to get a station, and with difficulty you will catch one thing and try to keep it there. Now I have written what is called as one of the chapters is from a wooden radio to Alexa, Today I just tell Alexa do something and the Alexa does things for you. So I have seen that period as well. Now ultimately there have been two things in my life, and here I want to stop and read something. By this time I had perfected echocardiography as told by others. Remember, just now Dr. Ayad mentioned, I have mentioned it in my book also, that you have to be told, I'm very open about it, you have to be told by others that you are good. If I tell I am good, I don't think that's a very right approach. So my book basically is a form of inspirational book where I have tried to give to the youngsters how probably one should lead your life. And here it happened that we had a new head, a Kuwaiti gentleman I'm mentioning in the book. Okay, Dr. Ayad Al-Anzi, who gave me an all-out liberty to do more research and publications. So our first publication from Jahra Hospital, now I see quite often publications being mentioned in social groups here. But our first paper was published in 1996. It was not really, there was no fashion of publication, especially from a suburban hospital in Jahra. So the first paper was on acute myocardial infarction in young adults. And we had discovered during that time how the Indian subcontinent, people coming from Indian subcontinent had MIs at the age of 40 and even below. So that was the first paper published in 1996. And then it went on, and then came Dr. Ayad, and he gave me a full liberty to do the research. He worked very hard to get a new echocardiography machine. Abdulrahman, you are now very blessed to be sitting in this hall and trying to tell that you brought 250 people to the department, and he had to struggle for one doctor to be brought. Okay, and he went all the way to the minister or where, I don't know where he went, and to get an echocardiography machine was not easy. He brought in a new cardiography machine which had what today you people think is a routine, had a transesophageal probe. That was a big thing. And for performing the relatively new, clearer and closer visualization of the heart, it was called transesophageal echocardiography. It required training, and the company, as per the agreement, was to send one doctor to Sweden for training on TEE. I was selected for this training, but he is the one who arranged it. My new head also gave me a support for me to go and attend conferences within the Gulf states and even in countries outside the region. I called it the golden period of my rising career. And that's where then I think I have another 2 minutes. I will finish it. Perseverance, this one, no, I have to go down here. Okay, I'll just read this about COVID because I like this particular portion in my book. So I'll quickly read how I regarded the COVID pandemic and how I regarded the coronavirus as such. O mankind, I have sent the unseen soldier who is killing people of its own choice. It is diseasing huge numbers again at random. It is just a warning from the skies for more to come. It's a blessing that it is not fully airborne. When the virus roars, it is interpreted as beware, O humans. I am the unseen soldier named Corona. I can come again transforming my looks. This time I am just a crown, as Corona means a crown. Next time I can be the king myself. My powers can get enhanced. I can be more destructive to the human race. The natural disasters are a result of the corruption in the land by your own deeds, perfected by your own hands. O humans, he is capital here. Remember, he is he. He encouraged and instructed humans to be loving towards each other, help each other, detach any thoughts of hate. Yet humanity did not obey. I warn you again, I can come back with a greater vengeance. I think that should come to an end. There are a lot of things, but time constraints. It's about my father's death. I have mentioned about how my mother died when I was very young. I was expecting that she would be alive by the time I will reach, but she just died 1 hour before I reached. So there are a lot of sad things also in it. So that's where I think as a lot of, finally it is the end, and I have ended my book. This is the last page of my book, having now come to the other end of my journey, and friendship with life is still well maintained. I am looking forward to the next phase. The coming is unknown, but the man with imagination is never alone. I have ended the book with a quote: each man has a choice in life. He may approach it as a creator or critic, a lover or a hater, a giver or a taker. And currently I am a private practitioner. I go for a radio talk on Radio Kuwait about twice in a month. I have a caller-in program where people call in and answer their queries, and I keep meeting my old colleagues. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. 8:30.
Thanks. لا
Abdulrahman, can you join? Come.
دكتور
Come. Remove your mask.
وحاته. يوم تاريخ 13/3/2022 يوم الأحد. يا حيا أبو لقمان، يا أبو حاتم، ورق طيبة.
الله يعطيك العافية يا رب.
الله يعافيك. حنا به.
Yes, no, I will leave it in your room because I'll write something. I'll write. You go. You have to go.
حسن.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Still video, no?
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
I'll post it on YouTube, huh?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
سلام.